You ready for your close-up?
You wearing a tighter shirt?
2X.
Instead of?
2X.
Did you shrink it?
No.
His muscles are getting bigger.
Yeah, you're getting fucking bigger.
I'm wearing collars.
Because your shorts look shorter and your shirt looks tighter. Is that my shirt?
No! It's fucking...
Are those my shorts? Let me see the Motherfucker, those are my underwear.
My squirrel covers. Oh.
So we had, like the last couple weeks we've been fucking really busy. And I've been sewing some and just trying to get some other girls online for some different products. So we hadn't done a whole lot of Facebook stuff. We posted a lot of photos of gear that was being completed, but we hadn't called anybody out. And what we saw is our Facebook reach plummeted. It shows your post reach, how many fans actually see posts, and how many friends of fans. So our post reach typically at our peak is around 1.5 million to 2 million people. And over a couple weeks, we hadn't been making the controversial Facebook posts, and we'd just been posting gear pictures, and our Facebook feed was at 82,000. 82,000 people seeing our shit when we don't post, you know, angry, hateful, controversial, dipshit customer emails calling people out. Which just goes to prove that people like to see controversial shit. You can put up 100 emails a day from, you know, really happy customers. Nobody comments on that shit. They don't get any traction. They just go to the bottom. So we started calling dudes out at the beginning of the week, and I watched it coincide with that fan count, that post reach coming up, and we're at like almost 800,000 right now, just from a week, posting 2 or 3 of those emails a day. And that's why we do it. And guys crawl out of the woodwork with, you can't do this, you'll go out of business, this shit doesn't work, this is against business principles. And it just shows that that shit really does work.
They aren't familiar with Eat-A-Dick technology.
Eat-A-Dick technology. And
It works.
we had a couple guys, like I made these videos just the other day, and I said, look, we're not giving order statuses, we just can't do it. And if you're upset by that, just send us an order number, ask for a refund, and we'll refund you. Our day is consumed with that. And it's always the little guy. It's like Colin likes to say, Colin used to work at a jewelry store, and it's always the Pandora customers wanting the $15, $20 charm. And those are always the dudes complaining. It's always a dude with a $15 shotgun card or something. I got some fucking water in here when I had that sitting in there. It's in the oil, the Pam cooking spray. So it's always one of them dudes. So we got two guys yesterday. One of them ordered a belt on Saturday night at 9 p.m. or so, and sends an email yesterday, how come I don't have tracking and shipping information for my order? Well, you ordered Saturday night at 9 p.m., which was a weekend. Sunday was a weekend. Monday was a holiday. The postal service was closed. So your shit hadn't shipped. But on top of that, when you order, the shipping terms and policies say it can be 6 to 8 weeks. When you order, the website sends you an email saying it can be 6 to 8 weeks. And that's the deal. So I just refunded, I told him that, refunded, canceled him. And he came back with, I guess God's looking out for me because I wouldn't want to do business with an asshole like you. Then another dude ordered a Pelter wrap Sunday at 10 p.m. at night, around 10. And it was the same deal. Where's my stuff? How come it hasn't shipped? So refunded, canceled. And then they get pissed that their shit is refunded and canceled. So I made a post about this on the Facebook page, and some dude passive aggressively, rather than just fucking asking the question, oh, is that why slings are taking so long? So I just said, you know, on the heels, he bothered to post in there, and he's on Facebook. He kind of, I guess he knew how this was going to go. Or you would think he does, since we do it fucking all the time. And I said, well, if you're, you know, basically you're unhappy with your order, give me your order number, we'll cancel and refund you. Well, he didn't do that there. He sends me a PM and he says, okay, well, I didn't want that, but I guess since that's how this is going to be, here's my order number. So about 30 minutes later, I get a PM from a dude. He says, hey, I'm on this forum. I'd never heard of it. Come check it out. This dude's talking shit. That dude went and started a thread and put screen captions and all kinds of shit up there. So I made a post about that. And the thing is, the traffic just jumps. Like, we gained, our post count went up almost 100,000 views last night from those 3 or 4 posts we made about dudes talking shit about us. Like, if somebody's going to talk shit or accuse us of something, we go post it. We bring it to daylight. The best fucking antibiotic is sunlight. So we bring it out there. We put it out public. Dudes, you know, say shit. Fucking, we bring it out public. And it just shows you, man, 100,000 more. By the end of the week, we'll be at 1 million fucking post count. And what that does is when we run sales, everybody that sees, all those 1 million people see it, and then their friends. It's exponential. It's like a snowball going down the hill. But it doesn't ever end. Like, it's never capped out unless you just stop driving the traffic somehow. People get bored of it, people quit, but people don't ever get bored of it because new dudes always show up to tell us we can't do that. They get dogpiled on, and it's just a big fucking avalanche coming downhill with no end. And it works. So that's the deal. What do you got?
Well, the sunlight is antibiotics. That's a true statement. Did you know if you have crabs, you can take your mattress and stuff, lay it out in the sun, and it'll kill them?
Is that true?
If you have crab infestation and stuff like that in your bedding.
Like
sunlight, just that UV light.
Does that work for snow crabs and king crabs? Or
I think it's just crotch crabs. I don't know if they'll do the other ones or not, but yeah, I don't know.
Are crabs still around? Like, I remember hearing about that, like, I think Happy Days or Laverne and Shirley or something.
Yeah.
I never knew anybody that actually had crabs, I don't think.
I don't know. I remember one time on ship, I drew the short straw and had to go up for, I was going to have to go on kitchen duty, on KP duty. And so you have to do a physical beforehand and everything else. And so if you have any open seizures on or lesions on your hands or anything, or you have crabs or anything like that, then you can't work with the food and stuff. So I still got the scar right here. I cut myself with the saw thing on my Leatherman, so I had to get some stitches right there, right before I went and took my physical.
On purpose?
Yeah. I didn't want to fucking do mess duty, man.
Sutures?
Yeah, a couple stitches in my hands so I couldn't, and I also sprinkled salt and pepper all over my pubic hairs and shit in my crotch for the inspection. Guess what?
Is this real?
This is real. I failed the physical. I couldn't do that, so I ended up doing it. It turned out to be a great deal. I ended up doing the stocking the vending machines instead of having to work in the fucking mess hall. So,
what was your job pretty much? Combat swimmer?
Huh?
Combat swimmer? Wasn't that like what
you
did?
No, I was one of the scout swimmers for my team, yeah. But no, when we were on ship and floating around and shit
so
like that,
how were you swimming with fucking sutures in your hand? How'd that go?
Same way, I mean, fuck it. I don't know.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wasn't doing mess duty.
No, I guess you weren't.
Fuck that noise. When there's a will, there's a way. You know what I'm saying? How dedicated are you?
So there's Uncle Lance's, that's his lesson for the day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Let's talk. What about Ebola? Let's talk about current environments.
Okay. What do you think?
I'm afraid.
Are you?
I'm afraid everybody's going to die from it.
For real?
No.
I think it's real. I mean, obviously it's there, but I think it's watch this hand and don't pay attention to this hand. If they're showing you it on the news, it's because somebody's feeding it to them, or that's just, you know, if that again hype. If fucking they came out and said everything's awesome and this state right here is fucking awesome, nobody'd watch that story. They have to have controversial shit. Obviously, Ebola's real. Obviously, it's there. Obviously, it is a threat, and if it mutates, it's a real threat. I mean, fucking Michael Crichton wrote Hot Zone and made a fucking shitload of money off that book about this very thing. Outbreak, fucking that was an awesome movie at the time, and there's been a bunch of others like it. Yeah, pandemic, that's a fucking real thing. And when power goes out and sanitation goes out, like, will we see pandemic again? Of course we will. But the reality is that the flu, the influenza every year that fucking mutates or changes, kills more people within the United States than Ebola has killed in the whole entire world ever. Mm-hmm. Every year, U.S. citizens die from the common flu. Yep. But this year's common flu, more people die from that and will and have died this year than everybody in the world has ever died from Ebola. So Ebola is scary. You know, it's in your face. We don't know about it. They've made movies about it. It's fucking good. It's good journalism. It's good news.
That's the key, though. It's people don't know about it.
like
What people
said,
don't know about, they're scared of.
And that's the thing, I think, too, on it. You know, a lot of things I think of, a lot of people are afraid, they have fears on it and everything else. And I kind of look at it, and I think you should as well, you know, educate yourself, stuff like that. But most of our fears, I think it was an acronym, false evidence appearing real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
Where'd you get that from?
I don't know, I've been using it for a
that's
while.
fucking good.
But I mean, seriously, all your fears, like when I backpack and stuff like that, I started getting into, or trying to get into ultralight, because I was talking with, I could never get my pack weight down and everything, and I was just always carrying all sorts of shit that ultimately I wouldn't need. But I started talking to an ultralight hiker, and one time out hiking, and she said, yeah, you're carrying way too much shit. She's like, you pack all your fears. You carry all your fears with you. You know, you have a double for a double. And granted, there's some situations and times for that or whatever. But a lot of times in our day-to-day life and stuff, we do the same thing. We carry all that weight on our back and stuff, that stress and everything. And a lot of times it's just fears and what we're worried about. And worrying's not going to fucking change a thing. It's not going to make anything else unless you can convert that into good positive energy or something and do something with it, manifest something good out of it. But if you're just sitting there stressing out and worrying, that's no good. I mean, educate yourself on it. Like John said, I mean, like 4,000... Ebola was discovered in what, 1976, I think?
76, House of Nuns, I believe.
Yeah, 1976. Came from, they think, the Ebola River, which is where it got its name. Or something like that.
Now they're saying, you know, bushmeat is where it's coming from. It's converting out of, you know, fucking meat being eaten. I got a declassified email that was sent out, so you have to assume there's a classified one that went with it. And basically that's what it was. It was just it was charts of how to wash your hands, don't touch your eyes, don't touch your nose, don't touch your mouth, don't eat bush meat. There was a few other things.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. It's going around. And I got it, you know, from a buddy in the Army. And you have to assume that there is a classified version of that going around at the same time. So on another kind of go a different direction, you know, packing our fears, you can see that a lot of guys that are on this channel are into, you know, preparedness. And dudes like dude shit, you know, big trucks, you know, guns, equipment, gear, rather than skills. Because the skills, you know, the gear shit's cool, it's collecting. And a lot of dudes that are into this, who really don't ever utilize it, never will, they can collect the gear because it's their hobby. But you see that, like, when you talk bug out vehicles, bigger trucks. So you got this truck that holds so much gear, now you got a bigger truck. A bigger truck means you got to haul more bigger parts and more shit to support the truck that is going to support whatever else. You see a lot like chase trucks. Your race truck is fast, light, and nimble. Your chase truck carries all the shit. So we've got these big ass trucks in the parking lot. Fucking Excursion, F-250 Super Duty, a full-size Suburban, full-size Yukon Blazer Tahoe deal. They're all big-ass full-size trucks. You got to carry more shit to support them, so you got two wheels. Now you got a full-size jack to change them. They got winches. Now they got winches front and back. Before you know it, you've got... And when am I likely to use that? I drive back and forth to Nashville. If the world came to an end, it'd be nice to have that shit, but really you're probably going to eventually abandon it. But it's fear, you know, kind of deal. I built the trucks because I wanted the fucking trucks. But you see a lot of dudes, well, I'm going to use this, you know, if the Russians come or whatever it is. It's along the same lines.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think just, like John was saying, educate yourself on it.
Cooking the shit out of these eggs.
Look at the facts behind it, you know. All these big outbreaks, stuff like that, have been in Africa, and they have been serious, and it has been... You know,
because there's no fucking
there's no technology. They don't have fucking clean water to drink.
How about
they don't have the facilities.
How about this? All the fucking cases in the United States have traced back to people who were in fucking Africa, aid workers, and we allowed them back in the United States. If we're fucking really concerned about it, why don't we quarantine anybody coming from Africa?
Right.
Not to mention these dudes came from Africa. One of them knew he had it. Two of them thought they had it and said they thought they had it. They were all aid workers. They all admitted to being aid workers, if I remember hearing correctly. Why did we fucking let them in the United States without some kind of quarantine?
If it's something that could wipe out, you know. They throw out the numbers. 90% or 70% of the people infected, you know, and make it sound like it's gonna.
We can find drugs inside some chick's tits, or drugs inside somebody's body on a daily basis.
Implants.
But we can't fucking stop a motherfucker that admitted to thinking he has Ebola. Maybe my facts are wrong on that. I haven't followed it a whole lot, but just a thought. Maybe our priorities are a little fucking skewed.
You know, yeah, I mean.
And by us, ours, I mean not ours. Fucking
America, the media and everything else, fucking fearmongers. You know, just don't live in fear, man. All it's gonna do is cause you to hesitate, and hesitation will cause your worst fears to become a reality in a combat situation.
Point break.
mean, yeah, fuck yeah. Exactly.
Who said that? Swayze?
I think so.
And that's when you started skydiving, right?
No.
Stealing.
I started.
You started riding in skydiving planes.
I started that movie when the Red Hot Chili Peppers punched him for surfing.
When the Red Hot Chili Peppers should not make any music after that movie.
Right.
They're right up there with Nirvana, all the Seattle bands. All that type of music should not exist. Like if you make music from a dark, foggy, gloomy place, you shouldn't be making music. You should just drink some coffee. You should go mountain bike at North Shore.
Eat a granola bar. Fucking hike. Wear some Jesus Cruisers or something.
If you're a chick, don't shave your armpits. Don't use deodorant. Throw your furry toes out. But stay away from the music because you guys fucked that all up. Just stay away from that shit.
Yeah, there's enough hate and discontent in the world.
If you're sad, you can be sad.
Blood sugar, sex, magic.
Blood sugar, sex, magic.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's Chili Peppers,
It's a
man.
Red Hot Chili Peppers album.
Shitty.
Living under the bridge. But I guess that's all I got. I don't know what. You got anything, Colin? You want me to take camera?
What you got, Colin? Yeah.
Is that a wrap?
Put the camera.
Yeah, let's get the pob.
Let's do the colonoscopy.
The pobalob.
I'm up to my elbow in it. Go.
Well, which topic were you talking
Any of them, your topic.
You hit something, man.
You can't always be a follower, Colin.
I know. Sorry. No, I'm not.
Incoming.
Pick that up.
On the Ebola thing, I think it was you want some?
Hold on. You actually have more credibility to speak on this topic than any of us do. What's your degree in?
Biotechnology, emphasis in molecular genetics, whatever.
A lot of syllables in those words.
But I think it's really interesting because John probably have something to say about this too. I thought it was cool because we went from ISIS like 2 weeks ago. Like that is all you saw really.
Yeah.
And then they just switch gears. Well, that isn't promoting enough, like to me, like what looks like scare tactics. Like trying to get like the regular person who doesn't know what's going on to be like, well, we really need the government to help take care of us on this. This is really scary, and we don't have the resources that they have. I think that's unfortunate. But I mean, that's how I see it. Because Ebola itself, it was like they said, there's a lot of hype built up around it, and the only thing I can imagine that would ever make it something to really, really be afraid of was if we had tampered with it in some way. That's close enough. And maybe cause it to be something else and do something else. Because it's been a really, really stable virus ever since they discovered it. And so, I mean, yeah, it's really bad in Africa. Bad, not really bad compared to, like, when the Spanish flu came and killed 3% of the world. But it's bad there just because of the climate and everything is really good for the virus itself. I was reading a couple articles the other day, and they were saying, you know, like, even if we did have Ebola here, it's technically not a really good place for it to live because our climate gets too cold here in the winter, and it's not good for the virus as far as like it being able to live and breed. So I don't know. I guess that's just my thoughts on it.
let's look at like the numbers even in Africa, where they've had these wide, where
they're only in the thousands. That's
right.
nothing.
But how many people die a day from dirty water diseases from dehydration and shit from not having potable water, good, and everything else.
I was looking up facts last night, and they're creating this panic. There are deaths from motor vehicles every 13 minutes. Every 13 minutes on some sort of given statistic average. But it's not like they're stopping people from driving because they're not worried about you dying.
Here's a good
Doesn't
one.
mean anything to the government.
Here's a good number. Like when they talk about, people are scared of snakes. They give you the numbers of how many people die from rattlesnakes or how many people are even bitten by rattlesnakes. Most of them don't die. Compare that to how many people die from bee stings every year.
Yeah.
And the number is even higher struck by lightning. I don't know what those numbers are. It's going to be way higher than fucking how many people died from Ebola. Every year people struck by lightning is going to be a much greater number than people over the whole entire history of Ebola that have died from it.
Yeah. That's an interesting thing that they do with
numbers and the way statistics and how they
the numbers
they start doing those percentages like 70% of everybody who gets it's going to die or some crap like that.
50% now.
Yeah, it's
but
50 here in the States. It's 90 to 70 or 70 to 90 there.
Right.
That's because they have no medicine. It's in an endemic area, and it's in a climate that is progressive for the virus itself.
I remember when
and it helps with the fear mongering.
Yeah.
I remember when the first 3 patients came back to the United States. I was on a elliptical trainer at the gym, and I plugged my headset in to the monitor to see what they're saying. And I remember hearing there's an experimental vaccine that was not ready for human trials, and they gave it to these 3 people. And then a day or 2 later, I heard, those 3 people are doing well, and they have survived. You haven't heard another thing about a vaccine. It's like that information, it's like the news made it up, or it was retracted, or it went away. You haven't heard shit more about a vaccine. I heard it on the fucking television at the gym while I was on the fucking elliptical.
There's a lot of movies about that kind of stuff, just how much money the biotech corporations stand to make whenever you introduce something like that and then supposedly save the world from something.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money involved in that.
And wasn't it, it was a member of the CDC, like a high-ranking, somebody up in the CDC, that team that came back, that original team, that was given that vaccine. Well, we'll save them, but we don't need to save the others.
Yeah, they took them back to Emory. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Into Atlanta, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Never know, man.
All right, you guys got to eat. It's 9:30.
All right. We're out.